Hello, this is Don O'Malley with Don's Breakfast Cereal Show. Thanks for tuning in. Today we have the third part of Drums of Fu Manchu, a Republic serial from 1940. Now in this we're going to show the last couple chapters, and we'll follow that with one of the TV shows, Dr. Fu Manchu. So it's worth sticking around the end for that one. So we'll see you after that, folks. Thanks again.
Can't afford to take any chances. There's no telling when Fu Manchu will strike again.
Why not sneak the sceptre out tonight? We can reach the temple by dawn before Fu Manchu has time to gather his forces for another attack.
I think Mr. Parker is right. I can let you have some of my men as an escort. Something's gone wrong. Let's have a look. They must still be in the fort. Separate. There you are, quick! There's another one! Wait, don't shoot! It's Mr. Parker! Sorry, sir. We thought you were one of the natives. Get outside and try and stop them! Corporal of the Guard! Come on! Sergeant! Did you get them? Not the one with the scepter, sir, but we picked off the other one. There he goes. Come on. Allan! Wait! The sergeant wounded one of those men. He's getting away. Yes, and he will be easily trailed and may lead us straight to Fu Manchu.
Sir Nayland's right. It's no use trying to catch the man on the horse. We can trail this one. Sergeant, take a detail and follow that man.
Pardon me, Major. It might be better if Allan and I went after him. Let us have one of your men and we'll send him back if we need any help.
Certainly. Sergeant, follow these gentlemen.
Right.
Good luck. I'll stand by till I hear from you.
Right, Major.
He seems to be heading right for town. Do you suppose Fu Manchu is right here in Branapur?
I doubt it, but he may have some meeting place there. Come on.
door. I'll drop through and take him. Right.
Sceptre. But the soldiers surprised us.
We must get word to Fu Manchu.
I know the Nihara Hills. I'll take the message.
Saipan.
Line up. Take care of them, Sergeant. Let's go back to the fort, Allan. Right.
We know that Fu Manchu is somewhere in this area. If he breaks through with the sacred sceptre of Genghis Khan, we shall have a man-sized war on our hands in no time. There are only 3 passes by which he can get out, and I shall have them blocked immediately. The next thing is to rout him out of his hiding place, and Chief Kondar is the man for that job. He's the chief of a friendly tribe of hillmen, and they know that district thoroughly.
Well, where can we find him?
At his village in the hills. I suggest that you and Mr. Parker go there first thing in the morning.
That's fine. We'll start at daylight.
I am always honored to serve Major Carlton. We shall begin the search at once. Will the Sives ride with us?
No, we ride to take a message to the outpost at Rangai Pass. We'll meet you at some convenient place later.
Rangai Canyon at the crossroads would be suitable.
We will be there about noon and wait for it.
It is arranged.
After here.
Against the holy sceptre of Genghis Khan? Do you not know it is written that one day a leader will come among you, whom you shall know by the sacred sceptre?
White men told me nothing of the sacred scepter. They said you were a thief and a murderer, to be hunted down like a wolf.
What else would they say when they wish to capture the scepter for themselves and to use it to oppress your people? But the spirit of Genghis Khan wishes power to fall into the hands of foreigners? Never! That power has come to me. I am your leader.
The sacred scepter.
We are yours to command.
Your answer is worthy and loyal. Tell me, Chief of the Nihala, who sent you to capture me?
Major Carlton at Fort Branapur and Sir Nayland Smith
Nayland Smith. The English troops, do they follow you?
They guard the passes. No one can get through them.
Nayland Smith can get through them. Bring Nayland Smith to me at once, alive.
It shall be done. I meet him within the hour.
I will go to your village. Bring him there. 2 of your men can guide me.
It is so.
Anything to report?
Much, Sahib. Much more than I expected. I found Fu Manchu and he's been taken to my village.
And the scepter?
The scepter is with him.
Can we go to the village at once?
That was my plan. Come.
One of us may get away.
Sir Nayland Smith. It is indeed a pleasure. For years you have hounded me. Now you will be very useful to me. You will make it possible for me to take the scepter of Genghis Khan through the guarded passes.
You ought to know me better than that.
You will do it voluntarily. Have you ever heard of a body living after its spirit is dead?
What do you mean?
You know why my dacoits are so fiercely loyal to me?
But I'm not a dacoit.
Not yet. But you will be soon. It's very simple. A slight operation. Really, there's no danger. Ask Lokai. In a little while, you will be like him. Put him on the table. Relax, Sir Nayland. Breathe deeply. You will feel no pain. Sir Nayland Smith, dacoit slave of Fu Manchu.
Separate! One of us may get away!
Sir Nayland Smith, this is indeed a pleasure. For years you have hounded me. Now you will be very useful to me. You will make it possible for me to take the sceptre of Genghis Khan through the guarded passes.
You ought to know me better than that.
You will do it voluntarily. You know why my dacoits are so fiercely loyal to me?
But I'm not a dacoit.
Not yet, but you will be soon. Put him on the table. Relax, Sir Nayland. Breathe deeply. You will feel no pain. Sir Nayland Smith, dacoit slave of Fu Manchu.
Stop! Nitroglycerin, Fu Manchu. Tell your men to stand back or I'll blow us all up.
A gallant gesture, Mr. Parker, but foolhardy. Both you and Sir Nayland
We'll die too. I know that. But the sceptre of Genghis Khan will be destroyed. And you and your plans to incite the natives to rebellion will die with us. No, Fu Manchu. Either Smith and I walk out of here unmolested, and with the scepter, or we all die. Sir Nayland! Sir Nayland! Come out of it! Sir Nayland! Come out of it.
Fu Manchu.
Seize him!
They'll reach the fort. By nightfall, a regiment will be attacking this village.
The troops will have to come through Rangai Pass, will they not? Then call the men of all the tribes. Tell them to ambush the troops in the pass.
But the friendly tribes will refuse to attack the English troops.
Will they accept the Holy Scepter as a sign?
Of course, illustrious one. This is the holy year.
Then summon the tribes at once.
But the scepter?
Tell them to look to the skies.
I'll go to the fort. You stay here and see what you can find out.
Right.
Arriba there! And Fu Manchu is in that village, Major Carlton. If the troops attack base at once, he can be captured.
Most of my command is on patrol in the passes, but I can send a squadron of cavalry. Have the 3rd Squadron formed on the parade ground immediately. I'll command it myself. And now, Sir Nayland, we'll check over the details of our advance.
The prophecy has struck. Tonight we ride and drive the hated white man from our land. The sceptre of Genghis Khan will appear tonight. Look! The holy sceptre of Genghis Khan. Fate has delivered the foreign soldiers into our hands. They march tonight to Rangai Pass. We will wait in ambush and descend upon them like wolves. Hey! Spread the word! Charge assemble at the pass!
Squadron, hunt! The shadow of the holy sceptre. Our work's cut out for us tonight.
It's an ambush!
Take cover! Open fire!
bargained for, Major. Those hills are alive with tribesmen, and more are coming up every minute.
And as long as they can see that scepter, they'll fight to the death.
Whatever he's using as a projector seems to be near the Tartar village. Perhaps we can sneak through the lines and stop him. It's a desperate gamble, but we'll be wiped out at this rate.
It's worth a try, Allan. Come on. Good luck.
That's it. The searchlight on the car.
Order!
The soldiers have broken through.
Fu Manchu's in that car.
The road turns east over the ridge. I'll cut across and stop him. Men of the tribe, your High Lama has an important message for you. My children, the prophecy of the holy year is fulfilled. The holy scepter of Genghis Khan now reposes with the English officers. All believers in the true faith must lay down their arms and henceforth follow the leadership of those who hold the holy scepter of the great Khan. For the blessings of peace and contentment which are descended upon us, we will always owe a debt of gratitude to Sir Nayland Smith and Mr. Allan Parker. It was their heroism that prevented the holy scepter from falling into the hands of the false prophet, Fu Manchu.
you in all humility. Your sacred scepter reposes in the hands of my enemies. My plan to conquer this land, even as you conquered it, has been burned away from the rifle fire of alien soldiery. But there will dawn another day, a day of reckoning, when the forces of Fu Manchu will sweep on to victory. This I pledge you.
Black and white, life and death, good and evil, two sides of a chess game, two forces in the universe, one magnificent, the other sinister. It is said that the devil plays for men's souls. So does Dr. Fu Manchu, Satan himself, evil incarnate.
Ladies and gentlemen, this broadcast is originating at the Municipal Airport in Hong Kong. During the refueling stopover, we hope to bring to you an on-the-spot interview with one of the most important men of our time. A man who might have the answer to that dread question, is it to be war or peace? Can the East and West find a solution to their differences? Professor Hu Yan, Special Delegate to the Conference of Nations. They're getting off the plane now, ladies and gentlemen. Professor Yan. Professor Yan, please, sir. Professor Yan, would you say a few words to a world audience? I understand, sir, that you bring with you a formula for world peace.
There is no formula for world peace, except as each man abolishes fear and hatred from his own heart.
I understand, Professor Yan, that you have mandates from the Eastern warlords that might make it possible to end the threat of war.
Well, let's put it that I have been given the power to accept the plan being put forth by the United States, should it be all that it seems.
During the last war, weren't you in a concentration camp for a long period of time?
3 years.
Then no one knows better than you the importance of freedom. Thank you, Professor Hu Yan. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard an on-the-spot interview with Professor Hu Yan.
Betty Leonard, you will open your eyes. You are a laboratory technician. You are to go on duty at the municipal airport at 10 a.m. That is correct?
That is correct.
Professor Hu Yan arrives on Flight 9 from the Orient. He is suffering from a rare disease, and only you will be able to save his life. Do you understand?
I understand.
The serum you are to use will be in an ampule in your purse. Now you may close your eyes. Dress her at once for the street and see that she reaches her place of employment on time.
Mr. J.P. Robinson, passenger on Flight 21. Your plane is ready for immediate departure at gate number 3. Mr. Robinson, please. All passengers for flight number 22, please report to your plane at gate number 4.
It is my duty to assist Sir Denis in meeting the delegates and smoothing their clearance by customs, immigration, and health officials. I am John Petrie, Doctor of Medicine and close friend of Sir Denis Nayland Smith, late of Scotland Yard and now assigned as Chief of Security for the conference. Through Sir Denis, I am presently assigned to the Surgeon General's staff. This morning, at the very last minute, Sir Denis was called away on an important matter, and he had asked me to meet Professor Yan without him. We ran into a slight delay. The professor lacked the proper certification covering his last smallpox vaccination, one of the musts for travelers entering America.
Miss Leonard, will you take the data, please?
Yes, Doctor. Your name, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, Betty.
This is Professor Hugh Yan,
My assistant, Miss Leonard. I'm very sorry about this, sir, but I'm afraid there's no choice but to go through another vaccination. Let me take your case and your coat.
Thank you.
I'll take your coat. Now, if you'll roll up your right sleeve, please. Miss Leonard will have it over with in just a moment. Sounds like they're coming here. Sir Denis.
Ready, Professor Yan?
Wait here. Professor Yan, I'm glad you're safe.
Betty! What's the idea of the hypo? This was supposed to be a routine vaccination.
Send an ambulance to the lab office and hurry. Where did you get this serum?
I don't know. Somehow I knew it was in my purse.
Pulse and respiration subnormal. He's now in a coma.
I'll run a test on this serum as soon as possible. Only half the stuff's inside him. There may be time.
I will, sir. Why, Betty? Why?
Dr. Yan is sick. He would have died if I hadn't given him that serum.
Well, that's crazy. Not necessarily, Petrie. Look at her, confused, distraught.
You think it might be post-hypnotic suggestion?
It's possible. That important phone call I received turned out to be a wild goose chase. This must be a plot against Professor Yan. Oh, the ambulance.
The first step has been carried out, Master. Professor Yan has received the injection.
Only part of it, Karamana. Send Loader to me. Karamana. A woman is eternally unpredictable and can upset the best laid plans. As witness a woman called Eve.
Yes, my lord.
If there is any weakness in my plan, it is because I have made use of a woman.
sent for me, Doctor?
Sir Denis Nayland Smith has had Professor Yan sent to the receiving hospital. See to it that he does not recover from the effects of the injection he received.
Yes, my lord.
How is he?
No change.
I've arranged for a police guard to be with him at all times.
Good. How are you feeling, Betty?
As though every thought in my mind had been probed. And still nothing that helps. I'm terribly sorry.
Now, don't be. You weren't responsible. Any report on the serum?
The results of the first run might be in the lab. Let's check on it. It appears to be a protein parallelepiped with a definite porphyrin ring. Sounds like hemoglobin, but it isn't. Of course, the report isn't complete.
Well, keep on working on it. And Petrie, some psychiatry might bring out the data hidden in Miss Leonard's subconscious. You might have a try at it.
I will, sir.
Petrie, is there any way that...
Yeah.
It's the guard. Then where is Professor Yan? Get with the police quickly.
You have done well, Loda. Now, go back to the hospital. See to it that no one completes an analysis of the serum used on Professor Yan. And so, Karimana, we are now ready for the Conference of Nations.
2,000 years ago, Plato said that virtue could not be taught. It could only be demonstrated. Dedicated to the principle that people who trust one another cannot fear one another. Final plans are being made for the Conference of Nations with representatives from many countries to be convened in America for the sole purpose of promoting international cooperation.
While we are awaiting the arrival of Professor Hugh Yan, it might be well to discuss briefly what can be offered to the full conference. The United States has proposed to share the Rutledge radiation shield with all member nations, provided that they, in exchange, will pool their own country's secret industrial knowledge for the common good of all mankind. This will result in nuclear reactors that will run machinery and help grow crops to feed the hungry people of the world. Once this has been accomplished, it will be impossible for any group to convince the masses that there is a need for war. Therefore, I cannot stress too greatly the importance of mutual trust and cooperation, especially by the members of this planning committee.
In that regard, Mr. Chairman, I would like to report an incident which took place this morning.
Chair recognizes the delegate from South America.
I received a phone call warning me that one of the nations represented here had made plans to keep the Far Eastern delegate, Professor Hugh Yan, from attending this conference.
Did your informant name any particular nation?
No. He just warned that we should all be on our guard.
In other words, an attempt was made to cast suspicion on all nations. There has been an attempt to keep Professor Yan from attending this conference, but it was not at the instigation of any one nation. It was by a secret society dedicated to the downfall and destruction of everything that this conference stands for. And the man who heads this group is capable of unbelievable acts of wickedness.
You sound as if you were speaking of the devil himself.
I might as well be. Gentlemen, we are facing an enemy as old as time itself. His goal is chaos. His name, Fu Manchu.
The man is crazy.
I'm giving you the facts, gentlemen. Fu Manchu is out to destroy this conference. He is determined to provoke a nuclear war between the East and West, and millions of innocent people will be killed.
You can prove your extraordinary statement, Sir Denis?
That telephone call that Mr. Valeria received this morning, sowing seeds of doubt and suspicion, is a stratagem typical of Dr. Fu Manchu. And then there is the disappearance of Professor Yan.
Where is Professor Yan?
I don't know. He was spirited away by agents of Fu Manchu not more than half an hour ago.
Sorry to be late, gentlemen. You see, I was able to make it after all.
The last time I saw you, Professor Yan, you were in a coma. You were also under medical care and police protection in the receiving hospital.
An attempt was made to poison me when I arrived at the airport. I agreed to submit to an inoculation and lost consciousness almost immediately the serum was injected. I have not yet completely recovered from the effects of the drug. One side of my body, my face, and this hand are partially paralyzed. I recovered consciousness in the hospital, but continued to pretend coma. I wanted to find out what was going on. What I overheard was enough to make me realize I was deliberately being kept from attending this conference.
But what about the priest guard who was there to protect you? Do you know who killed him?
If he is dead, I'm sorry, but I know nothing of his murder. I waited until the room was clear of people, then got out of bed, dressed, and came here.
If there has been a plot against Professor Hu Yan, we must know about it. This entire matter must be investigated at once.
Nothing would suit me better.
One moment, gentlemen. Would it be wise to launch an investigation and let the public know of this incident?
Well, if some nation is trying to sabotage the conference, the whole world should know about it.
But what then? What of this job we have to do here?
He's right. News like this would end this conference before it got started.
To be forewarned is to be forearmed. We will still sit together at this table, but we will be on guard against treachery. We will not be so foolish as to trust one another blindly.
In an atmosphere of mutual distrust and suspicion, nothing can be attained by this conference.
I find it easier to accept Professor Yan's account and advice than swallow Sir Denis' story about the mysterious Dr. Fu Manchu.
Laboratory.
Tests.
Hypodermic.
Serum.
Cigarette.
Match.
Serum.
Purse.
Injection.
Ampule.
Ampule.
Fu Manchu.
Why did you say that?
I don't know.
Try to remember. Dr. Fu Manchu.
What? It's like a dream that's been forgotten. Oh, John, I'm scared.
We'll let her rest. Take it easy, Daddy.
You know, in my years of matching wits with that devil, I've come to know how he operates. Take that serum Yan was given. Who else but Fu Manchu could produce a poison of such an unfamiliar pattern? And he's a past master of every hypnotic trick in the book. I just left Professor Yan at the Conference of Nations.
What?
Yes, he was spirited out of this building and revived. He's obviously following Fu Manchu's instructions.
You mean he was hypnotized, like I was?
No, I doubt if that's it.
Well, what else could it be but a hypnosis?
It's impossible to make a hypnotized subject commit acts contrary to his basic moral code. Professor Yan is known to be a fine, idealistic, and honorable man.
Well, right now, your fine and honorable man is destroying the Conference of Nations.
At the next meeting of the conference, Professor Rutledge will demonstrate a model of his radiation shield. It will be a simple matter for you to leave with it in your possession. The others will make no attempt to stop you. They will all be dead
I understand.
You know the penalty of failure?
There will be none.
Cole. It has been reported to me that Dr. Petrie is making repeated efforts to probe the subconscious mind of the girl, Betty Leonard. We have no longer any need for her. Inform Loda she is to be destroyed.
The police say it is impossible for Professor Yan to be taken from this building without being seen. And Petrie, when things seem impossible, it's an indication that there's a false assumption somewhere. What is it? Can you leave these tests long enough to come with me?
Well, sure, Betty can run them. I'll tell Loda to help her. What's on your mind?
We're going to comb this building from top to bottom. Come on, let's hurry.
Oh, Mr. Loader, Dr. Petrie wants a spectrum analysis of the residue in bottles A and B. Will you get the equipment ready for me, please? Mr. Loader.
Notify the police. I'm going over to the conference at once.
Indubitably,
Notice the heavy sheathing of the container. Also that one side is removable. In a moment, we will expose the counter to the radioactive isotope inside.
But isn't there trouble?
No, there will be no danger, gentlemen, providing you stay where you are. I want you to observe the effect on the counter. Now, the Rutledge radiation shield is, well, it's somewhat like a fast rally in a tennis match. A good player will return the ball no matter to what part of the court it is put. Well, it is merely a question of having the racket in the right place at the right time. It is light, durable, and easily manufactured. What you see here has the shielding equivalent of many inches of solid lead.
Remarkable demonstration. Why, that means that atomic energy can be made safe for use to anyone.
It means atomic motors in cars, airplanes. With this device, even a backward nation could become prosperous and strong.
That is why the United States wants all free nations to have the shield. In the hands of one nation, it could be used for war. But shared by all, it can provide the means of establishing a solid foundation for peace.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Sir Dennis.
That man is not Professor Hu Yan. He is an imposter.
Oh, the man's insane.
Serious charge, Sir Dennis.
I'm well aware of it, sir.
If he had any proof at all to back his charge, the police would be here to arrest me.
They're on their way over now. I came on ahead. Dr. Petrie and I just found the real Professor Yan where Fu Manchu's agents had left him to die. In a storeroom in the basement of the hospital. I'm glad to say that we got there in time.
This is very difficult to believe. I have known Professor Yan for many years.
Have you seen him since he was confined in a concentration camp? This man's paralysis is an act to cover up any differences of speech and appearance that might be noticed by anyone like you who knew the real Professor Yan.
I can't understand what possesses Sir Denis to say what he does. But I'm perfectly willing to remain here until the proper authorities arrive.
By that time, we may all be dead. And he claims to be paralyzed. Give yourself up, man, you'll fall. Professor Yan. Professor Yan. Professor Yan.
It's so good to see you after all these years.
Let me shake your
Life and death, good and evil, two sides of a chess game, two forces in the universe, one magnificent, the other sinister. It is said that the devil plays for men's souls. So does Dr. Fu Manchu. Satan himself, evil incarnate.
Our bearing. Get this off right away.
Aye, sir.
Calling Coast Guard Hong Kong. Calling Coast Guard Hong Kong. Number 2 boiler is flooded and we're shipping water fast. Doesn't look like we can weather the point. Over.
Coast Guard to Carfax. Roger. We'll have a cutter away in 10 minutes, but I'm afraid we can't get there in time. Over.
Carfax to Coast Guard. Do the best you can. We're in a tight spot. Out. Keep in touch.
Aye, aye, sir.
Owner's orders are to take special care of those boxes. So when we abandon ship, they'll have to go with us in the boats.
How we doing, sir?
No good. Tell the Coast Guard it looks like we'll strike any minute.
Aye, aye, sir.
Coast Guard Hong Kong, Carfax to Coast Guard. We've struck and we're abandoning. That is, if the boats will hold.
The fates have indeed deserted me. My carefully organized plans disrupted by a mere whim of the Sun Gods.
Surely, Master, another ship can be found.
A ship? Of course. But my cargo? It will take time to replace it. Perhaps too much time. Find Mr. Coston and bring him to me.
I'm Dr. John Petrie. With me is my laboratory assistant, Betty Leonard, and Sir Denis Nayland Smith, British Secret Service operator. That was the Port Authority. That freighter we've been waiting for sank off the point.
What? Were there any survivors?
Yes, luckily the whole crew was saved.
Well, I guess that means we can relax until the next ship comes in from the States.
Betty, we weren't sent here to relax. When those deadly germs were stolen from that research lab in California, all the Western powers were alerted.
If the Red Eastern powers ever get their hands on that germ culture, they could prove that it came from the United States.
With these cultures as proof, and a certain amount of brainwashing of prisoners they already hold, they could accuse and positively prove our government had used germ warfare.
Well, you don't think the free world would believe that?
No, they wouldn't. But it could be the only excuse they'd need to turn germ warfare against the Western world and kill thousands of innocent people.
Well, our next move is to talk to the crew of that lost freighter. See if we can pick up a clue there. Give me the phone.
Splendid, Mr. Coston. Splendid. It would have taken me months to replace these germ cultures. And how were they saved?
Captain Warren. He is an even better man than I thought he was. Of course, he didn't know what was in the boxes, but I told him to take special care of them. So he took them with him in the lifeboat.
He did not take them through customs?
No. Some natives gave him a ride into town, and he brought these boxes straight to me.
Good. The Red Powers, which have commissioned me to deliver these germ cultures, will be pleased. You must retain him to command our new ship.
I'd sure like to. He's the only skipper available who really knows this coast, but I don't think he'd take the job. He was signed on to bring the Carfax only as far as Hong Kong.
You mean he has scruples about engaging in the Oriental trade?
That's the trouble, I guess. He's a pretty salty character, but he has always kept clean with the law. And he knows that most of the Oriental trading nowadays involves contraband.
Nevertheless, he seems to be the best man. So we must persuade him to accept.
Sounds good all around. We can start whenever you are ready.
The arrangements for the new ship completed?
Yes. She'll be ready as soon as the cargo is.
Karamana, you know Captain Warren?
Yes, Master.
Then I'll go find him and bring him here to me, taking the usual precautions.
I understand.
He usually hangs out at the Blue Dragon Cafe.
Thank you. Captain Warren.
Go away.
Well, hello. Hey, drink for my friend here.
What will you have?
Nothing, thanks. I heard about your misfortune, Captain. I'm very sorry.
So was the storm. We'd have weathered it easy. That rusty old bucket hadn't popped her rivets and opened up like a sieve. So now I'm on the beach with a very slim chance of getting a new command around here. Guess I'll just have to deadhead my way back to the States and look for a job.
I don't want you to leave now that we are just about to become good friends. Can't we go where it's a little more private?
Don't you think for a minute, baby, that I want to leave, but... what else can I do?
Perhaps I can help you. I have a friend.
I'll bet you got a lot of friends. But let's forget all about him now.
No.
Oh, I want to have another drink. You have one, too.
No, please. This man is very rich. He helps Captain Carston buy his ships. They have a new one now, and they need a captain.
Carston's not liable to want me again.
But my friend may. At least we can go to his place. Be much better than just sitting around here.
I'm ready.
I must tell you, this friend we are going to see is Chinese.
Oh, so what? There are a lot of them around here.
Also, he has just escaped from behind the bamboo curtain, and his enemies are still looking for him.
That's not unusual either.
He must keep in hiding, and no strangers must know where he lives.
That's still okay with me, baby. You work it out any way you want to.
Let's go now.
Hello, Carston.
Captain Warren. This gentleman, you don't have to know his name. He is my partner.
It gives me a pleasure to have the opportunity to thank you for so thoughtfully removing those boxes from the wreck.
Well, those were my orders. I was just doing my duty.
And very efficiently, which is why we are happy to offer you the command of our new ship.
Where's she bound?
It will be used in the usual Oriental trade.
No, thanks.
May I ask why not?
Well, I just don't want to get mixed up in any dealings with the Reds.
I can assure you, our operations are entirely legal. All cargoes will be inspected by the port authorities.
Sure, I know. But I still don't like the business.
Captain, you must consider we are doing you a service making you this offer. You must know it will not be easy to get another command here. There is also the matter of the boxes you brought through without customs clearance. If the authorities should learn of this, you might find yourself in an awkward position. But then again, you might disappear. And I am sure you wish to continue to make Hong Kong your home port.
That would be very nice, Captain.
Of course, if you are still in our employ, we would take full responsibility for that incident.
All right. As long as you put it that way, I'll sign on.
Captain?
You must be extremely careful. One touch of this culture on your skin, the infection would be fatal in a matter of hours.
I understand.
Make sure that the needle reaches at the heart of the melon. There must be enough room for the culture to keep the germs alive until they reach their destination. Kolb, when we finish with the melons, you will repack them. Make sure they are packed properly. These crates must pass under the eyes of the customs inspectors.
Yes, Master.
Hold it. Captain Warren. Stuck him in the corner out of the way. What do they want?
They were questioning me about the shipwreck. Want to know how I happen to have a new command so soon.
You've got nothing to worry about. You're clean. I'll handle this.
Well, Captain Warren, incidentally, I have an authorization here to inspect your cargo.
Talk to Mr. Carston. He's the owner.
The usual procedure, I suppose. My man will help you if you need him.
Well, thank you. We'll probably want to open 1 or 2 cases. Exporting melons to China, Mr. Carston? Isn't that rather like carrying coals to Newcastle?
No, sir. They are just ship's galley stores.
Of course. We'd like to open 2 of these. Say this one and that one.
Yes, sir. You, get a bar and come over here.
Yes, sir. And then will you please probe this one for any concealed containers? That top one, please, and that. Wine tonic.
Could be.
Yeah, we'd like to take a few of these bottles back to the lab for analysis. Hey, 1 out of this case, 1 out of this, and 1 out of the bottom right there.
How long will these tests take?
We'll run them tonight. Have the results sometime tomorrow.
Sorry to hold you up, but I must ask you not to move any of this cargo until I give you clearance.
I can't question your authority. This is going to cost us plenty of money to lay over here another day. What contraband could possibly be in these bottles?
What we're looking for is a consignment of deadly bacteria that could be used in germ warfare. These wine bottles might contain cultures which could be built up into enough germs to wipe out the population of an entire country.
I know the Reds are trying to prove that the United Nations used germ warfare, but I had no idea they would try it themselves.
The infection that could spread could be more deadly than an H-bomb. And the worst part of it is, this particular bacteria can be readily identified as having been made only in the United States.
All right. I'll have my men open the boxes as soon as he's finished with the barrels.
Thank you. Petrie, let's go and have a look at those other boxes.
All this stuff has to sit out here overnight. Who's the watchman?
Chinese. I don't know his name, but he seems to be all right.
Maybe, when he's awake. You sleep aboard, don't you?
Sure.
Then I want you to check up on him during the night. There's been a lot of pilfering going on around here, and we don't want to take any chances.
All right.
And be sure to keep your eyes on the melon. Some dock loafer might pick them up.
Sure.
No dice, Betty. The only damage this stuff can do is to give you a hangover. So, Dennis? It's wine tonic, nothing else.
So, we draw a blank. But you know, Peter, I'm still suspicious of that cargo. We know there were germs on the Carfax, and now we have the same owner and the same captain taking another ship up the coast.
If there are germs hidden somewhere in that cargo, they can only live for a limited time without refeeding. How long do you think you can stall off in Carston's clearance?
Not too long, but at least we can hold him up until tomorrow afternoon. So long.
Captain Warren.
Evening, Charlie. Say, the loading crew should be here in a half hour. Why don't you knock off? I'll take over. You're a good man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Close the door, huh? To drop one of these crates. Don't pick it up. Don't even touch it. All right, let's go. Morning. It's clearance yet?
No.
Funny, they were here when I checked with the night watchman last night.
What time?
4 o'clock.
Didn't I tell you to keep a special watch on those melons?
Look, it's not my job to stand around here watching cargo. Besides, what's all the fuss over a few crates of melons?
I suppose you didn't hear the doctor talking about the germs hidden in the cargo. You're standing right next to him.
Sure, I did, but he was just guessing. Besides, it's none of my business.
You're right, it isn't. Hands off of me. You move those crates. I know it. You're going to tell me where they are if I have to beat it out of you.
Oh, you are, huh?
Got to bring him to and make him talk. We'll take him to my apartment and work him over there. Get him to the car. Aye.
You will continue, please.
The captain has revived now. Mr. Castan is sure they will make him talk soon.
That may not be soon enough. Has Sir Dennis brought the clearance papers to the warehouse yet?
No, master.
But he undoubtedly will soon. And when he discovers the melons missing, he immediately will start a search for Castan. Does anyone around the waterfront know where he lives?
Perhaps the man at the Blue Dragon.
Then I'll go there at once and tell him not to tell anyone.
I will, master.
Captain Warren was at the warehouse.
Captain Warren! Captain Warren! Hey, Petrie. Weren't there some crates of melons there yesterday?
There certainly were.
Melons? Is it possible?
Yes. A sizable amount of culture could be injected into the center cavity of a melon.
Captain Warren! Well, he obviously isn't here.
Any idea where Karsten is?
I haven't seen him today. Just came on at noon.
Has any of the cargo been loaded yet?
Nope. Ship hatches are still closed.
Any idea where we could find Karsten or the captain?
I wouldn't know, but you might try the Blue Dragon.
Blue Dragon, come on.
How do you do, gentlemen? What will you have?
Nothing, thanks. Say, do you happen to know Mr. Carson or Captain Warren?
Oh, yes. They're my very good customers, but they have not been here today.
Could you tell me where I could find them?
No, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Well, if they come in later, tell them their missing cargo has been found.
Yes, sir.
What are you talking about, their missing cargo?
Shut up.
Which one was it?
The little man who moved up to the bar.
You know him?
I think he's one of Fu Manchu's spies. We should have recognized this scheme as Fu Manchu's. It's been so cleverly organized.
One of the slats is broken on this. It'll have to be repacked.
Handle it carefully.
You see, Captain, you could have saved yourself all this trouble if you told us where the crates were sooner.
Still all right. I've stalled you long enough. Ship can't sail now, or ever.
What are you doing here?
Sir Dennis was in a cafe. I heard him tell... Something wrong, he said.
Hold up your hands. All of you. Over against that wall. Come on. You too, Carsten.
You're smart. You know what's in this melon? Before you can pull that trigger, I'll splatter this all over the room.
We must go at once. The papers, quickly. Please. Please help me.
The germs?
Obviously. And the longer we stay in the room with him, the more dangerous it becomes. Go at once. Black and white, life and death, good and evil, two sides of a chess game, two forces in the universe, one magnificent, the other sinister. It is said that the devil plays for men's souls. So does Dr. Fu Manchu. Satan himself, evil incarnate.
There is only one way to dispose of such a large amount of gold. Through the gold smuggling operation centered in Macau, the hottest trading post for gold in the world. $27 million worth a month pours in. Its entry legal due to the fact that Portugal did not sign the Bretton Woods Monetary Agreement, which tied most nations to a world price of $35 an ounce. Our next move was obvious. We contacted Lum Sen, Chief of Investigation for the Bureau of Internal Affairs in Macau. I'm John Petrie, Doctor of Medicine and attached to the Surgeon General's staff. The young lady is Betty Leonard, my assistant. We were assigned to the case at Sir Denis's request. We found that Lum Sen already had an undercover agent named Vicente working as one of the smugglers, and that Vicente had a plan to capture a man named Morgan, known to be captain of a ship engaged in smuggling gold out of Macau.
This is the area we raid, Sir Denis, just off the Kowloon Highway. The shacks are up in these low hills.
And you think Vicente can have this man Morgan there?
Vicente has been a member of Morgan's crew aboard the sampan smuggling out the gold. This is the shack where they share the same living quarters. Vicente would not have sent word if he was not sure.
But how sure can you be that Fu Manchu is the real power behind the gold theft and these smuggling operations?
We cannot be. That is why my government is glad you came to Macau. You, better than any of us, know the workings of this man's mind, his aims, his ambitions, how he operates. Now, for the raid.
I will ask you once more. How much does Lum Sen know? So, you wish to remain silent? Very well. But since you have gone to so much trouble to find things out, I would not wish to disappoint you. Yes, if you were to report back to Lum Sen, you could tell him it was Dr. Fu Manchu who stole the gold, who controls the gold market, who runs the gauntlet of guns to deliver these shipments into the hands of other nations willing to pay any price for its possession. Gold is God here in Macau, and the man who controls this God controls Asia. Yes, you could have told much to Lum Sen, and you can still tell much to him. Even the dead can deliver a message. Most unfortunate, Mr. Morgan discovered who you really were. I do not know which I despise most in this world, a traitor or a spy. You have been anxious to cast your eyes upon my gold. So you shall.
Vicente.
Fu Manchu. See the mark on his forehead? What happened here? Tell me, who are you? What's your name? You know him?
No. We've got to get her to a hospital right away.
Captain Alvarez, please call an ambulance.
Well, what do you think?
There's nothing wrong with her physically. I'd say she's been thrown into some form of psychic shock. A kind of, well, vocal blackout, no doubt caused by what happened in that shack, whatever it was. And the very real shock of her possibly thinking that that dead man was the man in the photograph.
When do you think she'll pull out of it?
Well, these shock cases are unpredictable. Time, rest, quiet. There's no one particular therapy. Of course, I could use sodium pentothal, but I...
Petrie! If you could unlock her mind long enough to find out who she is, why she was there, who the man in the photograph is. Right now, she's our only link to Fu Manchu.
And right now, narcosynthesis might be too risky for her. No, I'd rather wait a day or two. She may snap out of it by herself.
Each day we delay helps Fu Manchu, Dr. Petrie.
I know. I'm sorry. But this is a human being. A life. Isn't there anything specific you know about her?
Only that she's probably an American. The label inside her shoes and in her clothes give the name of a store in Los Angeles, California. Otherwise, no positive identification, no papers, nothing.
Betty?
Any special instructions, Doctor?
No, just stay with her. If there's any change, you can call me at Lum Sen's office. I'll be there with Sir Denis.
Yes, Doctor.
We wire photoed the picture to Daniels in Washington for possible identification.
Any word yet?
No, nothing yet.
When do you think you will hear?
Well, I don't know. At what time? We should hear in about a couple of hours, I guess.
Word has just reached me that Dr. John Petrie arrived in Macau this morning.
You had me worried for a minute. I thought the way you sent the giant running after me, something really went wrong. Well, what's the doctor here for? To pay her a house call?
Mr. Morgan, your friends may die laughing at your humor, but I think I prefer just the reverse reaction.
No harm meant. I didn't know you were touchy.
I am very touchy, Mr. Morgan. I am especially touchy because of what is at stake. But perhaps you cannot see beyond the color of a few bars of gold.
To each his own. Happens to be my favorite color.
Very droll, Mr. Morgan. But unfortunately, Sir Denis and Dr. Petrie do not share your point of view. They found a woman at Vicente's.
A woman? Up at the shack?
In a state of shock. She was unable to speak. She must have come there just after you brought Vicente's body back. She may have seen you, or perhaps not.
A woman? Do they know who?
I do not think so. But when she recovers, she will talk. And who knows what she will be able to say to them. And that is where you come in, Mr. Morgan. You will see to it that Dr. Petrie's patient will not recover.
I'll smuggle your gold past Chinese customs. I'll take anything that floats past the nose of any British gunboat out there. I'll even dump a dead body where you want it. But sorry, I won't put one on that condition. Well, look, when I was a little boy, my mother always used to tell me it isn't nice to go around killing people.
A noble woman, your mother, Mr. Morgan. But it would pain me to see you die for something you would not do. Poor Vicente. You understand?
Then my husband's leave was canceled suddenly, and he got orders to rejoin his ship. He didn't know what his destination would be. He thought Korea. Well, I went with him up to San Francisco. We said goodbye there. It turned out to be a very long goodbye. And then one day, I received a letter from the Navy Department. It was brief and to the point. It is our painful duty to inform you that your husband has committed suicide. Well, I couldn't believe it. Philip wasn't the type to commit suicide. So I made further official inquiries. And I was told that nobody official ever sent me that letter. But officially I was told that Philip went before a court-martial and was found guilty. Our marriage wasn't the kind that you write up in books. It was wrong from the start, I guess.
But if Philip was dead, I had to know. And if he was alive, I had to find that out, too. There were too many broken pieces in my life still laying around. They had to be swept up clean, once and for all. So I telephoned, I wrote letters. I went to see his shipmates, his friends, anybody. Anything I could think of to try to find out what really happened, where he was. And then I ran into an old shipmate of his who'd seen him. And the trail ended here, at that shack. I went in. I saw the body lying there. And after that, I don't remember anything. Till I saw Philip's face staring down at me.
I'd say your husband wrote you that first letter himself, Mrs. Judson. The truth is, he was court-martialed for black market activities during the Korean campaign.
Oh, maybe he thought it best to let you think he died, and in that way go out of your life.
But it can't work that way. He isn't dead.
No, he isn't. And further, we have every reason to believe that he's mixed up in something quite serious.
Did he kill that man?
We don't know.
But your husband does know you're here now. And we have a feeling he's going to come back again.
You mean you think he might come back and try to kill me?
He's a desperate man, Mrs. Judson. Won't you please help us? He's our one link to what we must find out.
He's my one link, too.
And the woman found in the shack off Kowloon Highway is still in a state of shock and unable to speak. Police are withholding names of suspects for the time being.
This woman must be silenced, Morgan.
She was too closely guarded. As it was, I had trouble with the nurse.
I will not accept failure a second time.
Yeah, sure.
You will be ready to sail tomorrow night with a shipment that will be met at a point along the coast of Indochina. I will tell you at what point just before you leave.
You give the orders. Tell them to get on with it. I've got to be loaded by sundown. I sail with the night tide.
All will be done. Any plans to sail with the night tide, my lord? I could not race quickly enough to inform you.
I thought you were Perkins.
He's up in surgery. An emergency case. They asked me to take his place.
American, aren't you?
Macau. Just one big happy melting pot.
Well, she's all yours. Pretty and all that, but it's just like sitting here talking to yourself.
Well, better pickings next time.
But if she does open her mouth, you yell and yell fast.
I'll remember.
Phil.
Anne.
Shh. Oh, Phil, I knew you'd come back. I knew it. I've been lying here pretending I couldn't speak, counting the moments, knowing you'd find some way to come back to me. Phil, I've been hearing them say the most terrible things about you. That you're mixed up in something very bad. That you even killed a man. Did you, Phil? Oh, did you?
And were they waiting for me to come back here? To walk into their arms? Are they waiting out there now?
Yes.
And listen to me. Don't ask me why I came here the first time. Make believe it never happened. This time it's different, though. I came back to take you with me. And forget what I've been, all the things I've done. We'll start over. Begin a new life, find new happiness. I have enough gold aboard a boat in the harbor right now to buy half the world for you. And I want you. All this time I never knew how much. I'll change, darling. I'll make up for everything.
I'll go with you, Phil.
Now get dressed. I think I've got a way to get us out of here.
This is the woman. Thank you for bringing her to me. You have saved me so much trouble.
I could never have gotten out of the hospital without her.
Very clever disguise. But you are clever at disguises. Like loading gold into coal baskets.
I had a tip they had our boat spotted. I figured there was nothing suspicious about a bunch of coolies loading coal onto a Chinese junk, so I figured I'd let you know in time.
Did you also figure on letting me know you are sailing tonight? No. You cannot see beyond the color of gold. You heard me tell Vicente there are two kinds of people I despise most in this world. Spies and traitors. You are a greedy traitor, Lieutenant Judson.
You know that?
Yes. I have known all about your past. Your black market activities, your court-martial, your marriage. A woman must hate or love a man very much if she will go to the ends of the earth to find him. I pity you if it was love that brought you here.
It wasn't love. You didn't really think you could charm your way back into my life, did you, Phil? I cried too many tears over you. I'm all cried out. I knew you were just using me to try to save yourself. And you don't think we left that hospital without being followed, do you? They let him take me out of there. They'll be here before you can set foot on deck.
I must be slipping, I guess. We're just getting older.
Down there, the first boat at the dock.
He's dead.
Have your men set up blockades at all possible points of escape. Notify the authorities in Hong Kong. He may try to cross over there.
Surely, Sir Denis. It's a jungle of ships out there. We could never find him.
We can try.
We began the almost impossible search through the fleet of great teak-deck sampans stretching from the harbor to the horizon. Some of them armed like 19th century men of war. It was as though we had turned back the pages of history and come upon a fleet of ancient pirate ships. We picked up Fu Manchu's trail. It led us along Macau's waterfront to Barrier Gate. There, the trail ended. Fu Manchu had already passed through and had been swallowed up by the teeming millions of people which make up Red China.
I'm sorry the way things ended up for you, Mrs. Judson. But if it is of any consolation to you, we have been able to smash Dr. Fu Manchu's smuggling operations here. We have unmasked everyone acting as a blind for him and buying up the shipments of legally imported gold. We have much to thank you for. Excuse me. Yes? Thank you. The plane has landed in the harbor. I have a car waiting outside.
You know, Petrie thinks Fu Manchu made one big mistake.
Yes, he should have stuck to making those firecrackers. He could have done a real bang-up legitimate business come next 4th of July.
Hello, back already. That was the end of Drums of Fu Manchu from 1940, a Republic serial. Now, if you're looking for more adventures of Fu Manchu, William Patrick Maynard from the Cleveland area has written new novels. The Terror of Fu Manchu in 2009, The Destiny of Fu Manchu in 2012, and a third novel, The Triumph of Fu Manchu, has yet to be published. He's an outstanding writer, and he does a great job on these. So if you ever get a chance to pick them up, pick up those novels. They're great, folks. So we'll see you next time. Oh, and if you have a chance, go to YouTube under Donald O'Malley or Don's Breakfast Cereal Show. Hit like and subscribe, and you'll never miss one of my shows. So thanks again, folks. We'll see you next time. And if you do run into William Patrick Maynard, tell him I said hello. He's a great guy. Good night, folks.